Hello everyone, thanks for clicking on to the video forecast. I'm Perfect the Weather Forecaster Nathan Kitchens. Hopefully you're all having a great week so far. Hopefully the weather's cooperating with you. I know if you're across the central and southern plains, you guys have been inundated with rain over the past couple of weeks. Really, the whole month of May has been extremely wet for you guys, and the active weather just continues to keep on keeping on here. Let's look at the Storm Prediction Center severe weather outlook for the rest of this evening. We have a slight risk of severe storms in place over portions of southwest Oklahoma and Texas, where we have some instability coupled with some upper level wind energy to deal with. Where those two come together, that's where we need to watch for some severe storms to develop. And a marginal threat for severe storms this evening over portions of New England as we have a cold front pushing eastward. Heading into Wednesday, just a slight risk in place over portions of southwest Texas, and this does extend out through about central Texas, and a marginal threat here in this dark green shading stretching from the Red River Valley into the mid-south. We're going to see the storm system that's currently developing over portions of Colorado. It's going to take a track to the southeast here, heading into Wednesday and kind of weaken, but we will see the potential for some stronger storms over that mid-south region, but it's not going to be a big deal by any means. And heading into Thursday, not much to talk about when it comes to severe weather, just a threat for a marginal threat over portions of the Carolinas, and a marginal threat over portions of southwest Texas and southern New Mexico. Looking at the national radar this afternoon, we have an area of low pressure here across Colorado. We have a shield of rainfall here in the central plains. And storms erupting over Texas and Oklahoma. This is where we have that severe weather potential. Like I mentioned, we have plenty of convective available energy for these storms. For these storms to grow vertically, and we also have a decent amount of wind energy. This is a look at the mid-level wind speeds, the 500 millibar wind speeds off the NAM computer model, where we see those decent wind speeds aloft coming together, along with those decent instability values. That's where we need to watch for that severe weather to continue to develop this afternoon and this evening. And you can see this here again on the national radar. If I go back here. Storms erupting over portions of Oklahoma and Texas with a tornado watch currently over portions of southwest Oklahoma. In fact, I think if I can click on weather watches here, you can actually see that. This area right here under that tornado watch, as of this update, tornado watch in that red shading here, if you can see that here. And storms also over portions of the southeast and stretching into New England. This is ahead of a cold front that's pushing through. You can clearly see that here. When I show you the temperature map, you're going to clearly see where this front is. Looking at the temperature ahead of the front in the 80s and 70s and even some 90s over portions of Florida. Behind the front, very cool, very, very cool over portions of the Ohio Valley and the central portions of the country. Seeing very cool temperatures this afternoon. 40s right now across Kansas and Nebraska, where we have rain, cold air in place. Much warmer over Texas and Oklahoma, where we do have that severe weather threat setting up this evening. And also, we can look at the dew point map, give you an indication of the amount of moisture in the air. Dew points in the 60s ahead of the front, even some 70s, and dew points in the cooler not cooler, I should say the drier dew points 30s and 20s behind the front here from the Ohio Valley up into the northern plains. A lot of moisture here over portions of Texas, and this is where we're going to see those storms developing. We've got the moisture, we've got the instability setting up, and we have some of that mid-level wind energy working into this area. When it all kind of comes together, that's where the best chance will be setting up for severe storms this afternoon and this evening. So let's talk about the storm system moving through the central part of the country. We're seeing that rain and those storms over the central and southern plains where we don't need it. First, I'm going to show you the current alerts across the country. We have flood watches in place over portions of southern Kansas down through Oklahoma and Texas, where we're going to see an additional 1 to 3 inches or more of rain over the next couple of days. And we have a tornado watch as of this video update in portions of the Red River Valley from southern Oklahoma through northern Texas. And those dark red shadings you see here, those are flash flood warnings, where we're seeing very heavy rain, flash flooding occurring or imminent. And orange here, actually I'm going to go ahead and click onto this here. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in place, and even some tornado warnings already coming in as these storms continue to erupt over this area this afternoon. Now, as we track the storm system continuing to push eastward over the next couple of days, I'm sorry, I actually didn't have the weather model up here. I'm going to type it in here and show you the forecast model for the storm system pushing through. over the next couple of days. Again, I'm sorry I didn't have this up here already. I thought I did, but apparently I didn't. We'll continue to see that shield of rain from the central and southern plains, so storms erupting this evening over Oklahoma and Texas. And heading into Wednesday, the system will push eastward, kind of taking a track. The low pressure will be taking a track right from here down through the mid-south. Some showers, some cool showers. It's going to be a chilly, raw kind of rain setting up over the central part of the country, and this will push eastward into the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley by tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. A few stronger storms possible from the Red River Valley into the Mississippi Valley, mid-south tomorrow, but not going to be a big deal at all. System weekends just kind of fizzles here. Wednesday night into Thursday, not much showing up here on the GFS computer model. And on Thursday, we're just going to have that marginal threat for severe storms from southwest Texas and New Mexico, and a marginal threat over portions of the Carolinas, but other than that, looking pretty quiet overall. And looking at the rainfall potential over the next few days with the storm system, good 1 to 3 inches again over portions of the central and southern plains. You can see the max here showing over near 3.5 inches from southern portions of Oklahoma. And certainly I think areas will see more than that. Where these localized storms head up, we're actually going to see a lot higher totals, I believe, than that, potentially over isolated areas over the next few days. So more flooding is going to be a big concern, as the ground is already so saturated. You don't need any more moisture to continue to add on. So as we head into the Memorial Weekend, I know everyone's wanting to know will the weather be cooperating, and it certainly looks like we're going to see the weekend start out quiet across a good part of the eastern half of the country. We're going to see a return of more warmth and moisture initially across the central plains, and this warmer and more moist atmosphere will be pushing eastward into the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes by Sunday, into the northeast as well by the time we get into Memorial Day. So let's look here on the computer model, the GFS computer model. Let's go into Friday. High pressure is dominating the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, into the south. Much of the eastern part of the country pretty quiet. We're going to see a reinforcing shot of cool air Friday night into Saturday over portions of New England. It's going to get very chilly across some of these areas by Saturday morning. You can see this. We have, goodness, 522 thickness value here over northern Maine. Certainly going to be very cool out there to start off Saturday, but you guys will recover nicely Saturday afternoon with some sunshine. High pressure dominating the east part of the country on Saturday, looking very nice here to start out your weekend. But look here across the central plains. We're going to see the southerly flow, return flow around this high, a little pressure developing along the Rockies here. So we will see showers and storms erupting over the central U.S. Saturday. And as we head into Sunday, everything kind of shifting here. High pressure moving off to the east, return flow coming in across the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, much of the center part of the country getting a warm and humid air mass on Sunday with scattered showers and storms going to be an issue. And as we head into Memorial Day, watch out as high pressure continues to push off to the east. The wind bars, or the wind flow, continues to steer out now to the southwest. We're going to see a southwesterly flow going right into New England. So that will mean a warm and humid Memorial Day for all these areas, with rounds of showers and storms being possible. I don't really see a lot of areas getting on a just complete washout on Sunday and Monday, but I do think there will be certainly times where it will be wet, where you need to make those plans to be inside at times. Good news is, if you are along the Pacific Northwest down through California, I really think much of your Memorial holiday weekend is going to be pretty quiet in those areas. Have some showers over the Great Basin here. I think the Pacific Northwest into California really is looking pretty quiet, especially Sunday and Monday. Really not much going on with your weather. Now, before I leave this video forecast, I do want to mention that we all know May has been a very wet month over portions of the southern and central plains. Let's look at the estimated rainfall for the month so far. Here we are at the 19th of the month, and we've already seen as much as 12 to 18 inches in this pink shading over portions of Oklahoma, right down through Texas. It's just absolutely incredible. In fact, Dallas, Texas is just an inch away, 1 inch away from their total they received for the entire year last year. And believe me, they're going to shatter that within the next 24 hours, and who knows, they may have already shattered that as I speak right now. So very wet and impressive stats coming in as far as the rainfall is concerned for the month of May so far. And this will be continuing. We're going to continue to add on to this very wet pattern over the next several days. We're denting a drought. That's certainly some good news. I know if you've got plans to head out to the lake or the pond out in the back forward, whatever you have planned, I know it's great to see those water levels rising once again in those lakes and streams. But this wet pattern has certainly caused a lot of problems, more harm than what we want to, because when you get 3, 4, 5 inches of rain in an hour or two, it causes a lot of flash flooding. It's just all this water comes up all at once and can't go anywhere. The ground's already so wet, and unfortunately it does cause a lot of problems. So we got the good news and the bad news to go along with that wet pattern that we've seen, but certainly good news to see the drought. Really, we're busting this drought big time over the central and southern plains. And that's about all I have for now for this video forecast. Thanks for watching this video forecast, and continue to keep it here to Convective Weather for more updated weather information. Have a good evening and have a good rest of your week.